Hey everybody, welcome back. Frank Hudisek here, and today I want to touch on a topic that's related to sales, and it really doesn't matter what industry group you're in and what type of product or service that you sell. If you've been in the field for any length of time, you've heard the phrase, the fortune is in the follow-up, and how true it is. And today I want to touch on probably four areas that are key parts as to how they're related to the follow-up. You're going to have the first, you have lost revenue, you have the lost future revenue, you have the lost referral, and then also there is a loss that can come from, I guess, let's call it reputation management. Now going back to the revenue loss, on the front end of the sales sequence, you've got a lead that becomes a prospect, that hopefully is converted, becomes a conversion, and then is a sale. But even before the sale, there's a sequence of follow-ups that you should go through, everybody should go through, to be able to stay engaged with that prospect so that you can work them through that funnel, through that sequence, until they finally do become a customer and that sale is made. Now, when we're successful to that point, then the real work begins, because you finally have a sale that you need to begin to continue to be engaged with, because that is where the whole sales process begins to mushroom for you, to really bring you that future revenue stream. You don't want to lose the future revenue stream. So how you do that, there could be anything from friendly phone calls to emails, you name it. Some companies, they will use an online survey, they'll outsource it with another company. But I think sometimes the best thing today, especially in this high-tech world, is to go back to basics. It's easy for everybody to follow the mainstream and take the easy way out, but I think where you are remembered most is with that personal touch. And that's all we're talking about here, is adding that personal touch and really doing something that is different from the herd. And there's nothing better than picking up the phone and talking to somebody. It doesn't have to be a lengthy conversation, but to be engaged, to follow up on what's working, what's not, any questions. Because during that phase, and here's the important part, I touched on, the third point is the lost referral. Without that type of a follow-up, without them getting to know you even better, the chances are you're not going to get a referral. And you've got somebody here that not only likes your product, like the price, they like you, and they're willing to go to bat for you. So there's a small window, say 30 to 45 days after that initial sale, where you can really create a lot of momentum and positive energy just from that new customer alone. And the last thing I want to touch on is reputation management. After the sale, there are so many sites out there today that is a site that will talk about the reputation of a company, about a salesperson, about a product, what kind of products are working well, what are not. And the best way to be able to diffuse that type of conversation is by staying in contact with your customer. And that is really the most important part. It's very easy to use a survey to see what the customer satisfaction might be. It's another thing to pick up the phone or send out a sequence of follow-up emails. The companies are using autoresponders and using them well. A lot of times it's boilerplate type emails that go out, but it's sequenced so that after the sale, you get these, you receive these type of emails, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're in business, if you have an online company, you have to have this type of follow-up marketing in place. Without it, you're behind in the game. So what I'm talking about here is a lot of basic nuts and bolts, things that you already know, but at times we get busy, and we tend to forget. And the other thing is, if you do use a follow-up broadcast through an autoresponder, make sure that that contact information is fresh. The worst thing we can do is to know it's out there, and we've used it for months and years, and the industry changes, technology changes, and you're starting to send out stale, old information. Don't let that happen. And just go back and take a look at your follow-up sequence, pre-sale and post. If you need to sharpen it up, get busy in doing it, because the new year is just around the corner, and be ready to take on the best year ever. Take care, and we'll talk again tomorrow.